A caravan of supporters outside the hospital where two Los Angeles deputies are being treated after they were shot in an apparent ambush Saturday night has gathered. This comes after some protesters at the hospital following that attack said they wanted the officers to die. And they taunted and threatened police outside the hospital. They blocked the entrances and exits from the emergency room. President Trump weighed in on the shooting.
He's an animal, and I called him an animal, and I was criticized by people for calling him an animal. They said he's a human being. He's not a human being. He's an animal. He's not a human being. We also believe that if you murder a police officer, you should receive the death penalty.
Shortly after that ambush, former Vice President Joe Biden pushed for gun control, tweeting, "Weapons of war have no place in our communities. We need to ban assault weapons and high-capacity magazines." Want to bring in now Randy Sutton, retired Las Vegas police lieutenant and founder of the Wounded Blue. Always wish that this could be a different occasion. You and I tend to talk when things are tough. Tell me what is happening that you see that we can turn around or deal with at this point, because it's devolving and it is deadly, potentially.
No, you're absolutely right. And the incident that happened with the ambush attack on the deputies in L.A. revealed exactly what is truly happening in America, and that is the war on cops. It is a very real war, and I wonder if Biden, in his comments about weapons of war, I wonder if he was finally coming to the realization that there is a war on cops. I wonder if that's what he meant. Probably not. When you talk about devolving, Harris, the behavior that we saw at the hospital was something that was almost unhuman. To see people reveling in these shootings is something that it's almost a loss of humanity. And then we see the riots taking place in Lancaster after an officer is attacked with a knife. And if you looked at the videos of the rioting, the look of hate and lust in the eyes of the people that were attacking the police station is something that I never thought we would ever see in America. This reveals where we are devolving to, Harrison. And the only way that we can take control of this is for America to come together. For the people that are now at the hospital that are showing their support, we need those people to come together all across America.
Yeah, you've got to have the other side there saying, well, what would life be like without police? And I haven't heard anybody, and Randy, you and I think have talked about this before. No one is saying that all police are bad, except for some of the people who are hanging out at these scenes saying they want to see them die. I mean, wider America understands what life would be, not just complicated, but a world you don't want to live in without law and order. It's part of the reason why people come from other countries here. They seek that. So I'm wondering what does need to be said, though, about finding those among you who have done some of the bad actions that have happened, not saying that that's what's gotten here, because there's no excuse for calling for two cops to die and then shooting inside of a squad car.
Well, you will never hear from the law enforcement side the hate-filled vitriol that we're hearing from people who are with Black Lives Matter, with Antifa, with some of the other groups that are attacking law enforcement on all type of all across the spectrum. It isn't the police that hate. It's the police that are actually out there in the communities that still believe in the people that they are serving and protecting. I just came from Portland, Harris, where I interviewed a number of Portland police officers who have literally been under siege for months. And the feeling is, on one hand, this desperation because they're not getting any of the support from the politicians up there. But on the other hand, they believe in their community deeply. Yes. Well, of course,
the police chief's quitting. Look at Best. Look at Chief Best. I mean, you had police chiefs of color who've left the scene. Not that they would be the total answer, but maybe they could be part of the conversation as a liaison between communities and law enforcement. That was part of what the vision was back in the day, a few decades ago.
No,
Real quickly before I let you go, though, because I did hit the point. There has to be an acknowledgement and a movement to find those police officers, though, however few there may be, that are not up to speed on their training or are going a different way. No one is saying that that's not going to happen. I'll give you last word.
No, you're absolutely right. And this could be a pivotal moment in law enforcement. If now the leaders of our nation could come together and say, we're going to not only support law enforcement, we're going to give them the funding for the training that they need and to develop a higher, more professional standard for law enforcement. We could do it now.
Amen. For all of it. And we have to keep those in blue safe because it's their job to keep us safe. It's a circle. It's a circle of life.